Hey you guys, welcome to a very long-awaited episode of Waifu Wars podcast, and today we're going to be reviewing English since it's been a while, and today I just have Jenna with me. So, we'll just get started into Sword Art Online. That's been recently out since May 27th, and for our locals at least, a lot of people bought into it for our locals, and there's definitely some value stuff, I think. But I'll take it over to Jenna on what her opinion is.
Um, I don't like Sword Art, but a lot of people like Sword Art,
Mm.
and the set's good.
Mm.
They got a lot of good green cards in that set. The blue early drop card is pretty good.
We'll discuss some cards, I guess, since that's where we normally do. Just notable cards. We'll go to the 1-0 Yuki. That's obviously the standout card of the set, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
On play, she gets 500 times the number of your avatar weapon characters, including herself. And she has a climax combo for gold bar. Pay 1, and you place one card into your waiting room from your hand, and when it attacks, you search for, if Mother's Rosario is in the climax slot, you search for up to 2 avatar or net characters, and then you add them to your hand, and then it gains the level till the end of your opponent's turn.
Yeah, gaining the level is actually really good, actually.
Yeah, against level 1 reversers. There's been more level 1 reversers in English, I think, have been showing up, but it's still obviously good if you're in a mixed environment.
Well, it's good against the level 1 reversers.
Yeah, because it gains the level.
Yeah, which is like annoying because I was in a game against it and I didn't know it had that effect, and I was like, oh, here comes Kambaru, and it didn't work because he's like, oh, this has a level. I'm like, oh, you didn't say that, but okay.
And until it's till the end of your opponent's turn. That's pretty relevant.
Yeah, that's what makes it really pretty good, I think. I mean, besides the fact that searches to discard 1, obviously.
Search 2, discard 1 is such a good effect because you're taking out 2 damage from your deck.
Yeah, and I don't think you see that often either.
Yeah. And the fact that the climax is a gold bar is just so much better, especially in this type of environment of how Weiss is right now, where like it's pretty much, I feel like Weiss has become a damage race now. Like, I know it's important that you want to get to level 1 first, but then at the same time though, like, you want to do a lot of damage so you're not, so like you don't feel like you're way ahead as in like you're like at level 2 while your opponent's like just getting to level 1. Like, you want to like just 1k1 is just good all around. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, 2k1 used to be suitable, but now 1k1 is just relatively good if you want to side, even if you just want to side for 1. And then that 1k push, it can help you like be able to reverse things.
Yeah, I agree with
that. Another card we'll go to is the level 0 Yuki Clock Bomb. When it gets reversed, if it's the battle opponent's a level 0 or lower, you put it at your opponent's clock. So it clock swaps, and then the other effect is that it has encore, hand encore.
That's weird. I didn't know I had hand encore. I mean, you're not probably never going to use that effect, but
it's 1k power too, so that's pretty relevant against things like Kantai with the Hibiki.
Yeah,
because either gonna tie for the most part, or Hibiki is actually going to be bigger if the opponent plays like Hatsukaze or something. So this has a better chance of clock swapping because you don't want your opponent to get their anti-tax heal to start.
Yeah.
Your anti-heal tax to start going into play.
Usually clock bombs I think are lower anyway.
The only thing though, it's funny, and this is also good against like Kantai's the Ricky on Death. But I've had games against this card where it's funny when I hit level 1 or I cancel, and then like they can't clock swap me, so that's kind of a downside of clock swapping.
Oh yeah.
Red got some good cards, but I'm not really gonna get into it because I feel like
it's a
for the
little bit
most part,
too much.
it's green. It's mostly blue, green, and maybe a splash of yellow. I see for the meta build for SAO.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to the Kirito 3-2. If your waiting room has 2 or less climax, it gets -1 level in your hand, and on play for each of your other avatar or net characters, it gets 500 power on your opponent's turn, and when it's placed, it cantrips by drawing 2 and discarding 1. So this is pretty much what SAO needed for their level 2s, because they didn't really have that much level 2s, like to play for the meta build at least. I think they only had like the check 6 Sinon, which is like a level 3 killer.
Oh, I see.
And then they could play the early change last shot Sinon, but that's like preference. I don't really see that much people play it. I think it's good, but
I'm not like a huge fan of just like straight up change. I prefer early drops.
And then the only thing I could think of is Lightning Flash Asuna, the 2-1 that people used to run that. It sends the cards reversed from it to stock, and it gains power in the soul against a level 3, so it's another level 3 killer.
I really don't like cards that send things to stock.
And then there was Machine of Ice on, but that's a back row card. That's pretty much it for this set. I think the Yuki cards, like the level 3 the clock kick is too situational. I've discussed that in our Florida group page. Like compared to other clock kickers, like it's just too situational where you have to reveal the top card, and if it's a avatar or net whatever, then it gets the clock kick ability. But the thing is also that this card doesn't give power. There's no way this card can like boost itself up without some other card. So it's going to be a 10k clock kicker, assuming that you reveal an avatar weapon. And then the gaining a stock, if you place the top card of your deck into the waiting room and your level is higher, you just gain a stock. Like, okay, I guess it becomes a 3-1 essentially, but like it's not that great, I say.
Yeah.
There's just better options for level 3 if you're playing SAO. Unless you just run in your waifu build, obviously.
Yeah.
That's about it for SAO. And we got some promos as well.
I didn't think the promos were that relevant, though.
Yeah. Alright, and now we're going to go on to... Oh, let's just say... let's just talk about SAO briefly on like where it stands right now in the English format. I feel like finally, yeah, they got what they needed. They have a good sitting, like they have a good cushion where they're at right now. It's definitely something to like be more careful about when you're going up against. They just have more consistency. They have a brainstormer, the green brainstormer, where they search by tap. Well, it's pay 1, rest 2 of your characters, and you search for avatar or net. That's something that they needed. It's the other plus brainstormer that they ran before was the salvage brainstormer.
Yeah, but that I thought that wasn't a plus card.
It is. It's a I think it's rest 2. Silica. It's a silica brainstorm.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, I know that people were in the scene on spammable.
Oh no, yeah, that's the spammable search one. Discard
one.
one.
Search his deck though. Yeah, but it's discard one. What was I gonna say? They didn't really have any direct search before, did they? Before the green card?
You mean like in earlier sets? They had from what I remember, they had things like the standard like pay 1 discard one, search for one, like a
But they didn't
Kirito.
have like a climax combo.
Oh, they did. They have the Asuna invites to the party, where you pay one on attack, and you search for one
Oh,
avatar
okay.
weapon.
Well,
But the
it's
Yuki's way
not
better
great,
though.
but
Yeah,
I see what you're.
the Yuki's way better though.
Yeah.
Because that the Yuki pretty much replaces the Asuna invites to the party.
Yeah. It's a lot stronger.
Yeah. So what's your final opinion on Isao before we move on, Jenna?
Um, it's pretty good, honestly. I mean, it got a lot more stable, in my opinion, and like I don't really like the series, but I mean it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't play it myself, but I can see why people want to play it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's definitely one of the bigger contenders now in English since the release?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, they don't really heal and they don't really salvage. So
I mean, they heal with the Sinon, but even then, even if I have like Hibiki, like they don't heal, but they still can be burned because their their burn is on attack.
Anti-damage.
Yeah, their burn is on attack.
Besides like compass, but
yeah, I mean the only thing I can compass is Sinon's attack, not the burn.
Yeah, since it's not an attack thing.
Yeah, that's why it's so good. With that, we'll move on to future upcoming sets. So after the next one we're gonna get is Disgaea, which is coming out later this month. Yeah, like we're getting a shit ton of cards. Personally, I think overall with this set, I'm happy with what Bushiroad is doing because I know there's people that want to play Disgaea, and especially I feel like for the guy that's been topping with the Disgaea trial deck, I feel like he's like happy that we're getting all the support for English.
Yeah, probably.
Disgaea, there's so many ways from what I've seen, like from what I've asked, there's so many ways to build Disgaea. Like you can build like the annoying attrition deck, which you pretty much is you keep on salvaging your level. You keep on salvaging your level 3s and heal loop pretty much, or just like try to outlive your opponent, and you have like stupid cards that like refresh and you make your opponent burn 1 damage. That's pretty good. And and then there's just like soul rush decks too if you really wanted to. There's just different ways to build Disgaea. That's why I like it.
They have a huge card pool.
Yeah. The only problem I see with Disgaea is that, of course, it's gonna be good against other sets. Like I feel like a lot of people are gonna play the level 3 where it heals, and then you can send it to memory, the Lahar, whatever his name is, and then you send it to memory and you salvage 2 angel or demon characters, which is pretty much the whole deck. So you keep on spamming that. But I feel like again, since Kantai exists in English, because we're just talking about English, there's gates. I'm pretty sure Disgaea runs gates, and just with healing, so I feel like it's just not gonna be as good as it was. But who knows?
Yeah.
Since it's the English environment.
It's so old. I just don't know if it'll really be able to contend. But I mean, you have to see how it's like the card pool's obviously so much smaller in English.
I think what we're getting, and compared to like what's released so far in English, I feel like it'll be a like something to watch out for though. Since like it's gonna be technically a new set, since the only thing we really got was the trial deck. So well, it's not really new since we already know what the cards are, but I'm saying it's new in the sense where like it's English. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. And I mean, technically, like the combination of all the sets into one big one is new.
I mean, they did that with Love Live DX. but they
Yeah,
still
but I mean,
excluded a lot of cards.
this Disgaea card pool is new to this.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
I just wonder if like, just personally, like I said, I think Kantai is gonna be like the hardest matchup if you're gonna play Disgaea. But then at the same time, I feel like Disgaea, with being how they can do so much damage so relatively fast as well, Kantai has like a huge has a huge time getting back. Like if they're going into level 2 or level 3 with only 3 stock. So um, that's why I think this guy might actually be good against Kantai as well. But we'll still see.
Yeah.
If anything, it's gonna be like kind of like the black horse of the English meta so far, from what I'm thinking. Just because like how people don't really know what to expect from this set. Like if they're just playing English only.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who probably don't even like look into the Japanese sets, so they'll see this stuff and they'll like probably not really know what it's gonna do.
And I guess the one card I do want to talk about, since we're just glancing over these cards, is the Wing Slayer event, which is a 1/0 green event, and it has repeat the following action until you level up. Place the top card of your deck into clock, and then during this turn, all your opponent's characters get minus 3k power. When we first revealed that to our Florida group page, there were some people that were like saying, "Oh, this effect is too situational" or whatever. But I think what people didn't realize is that they underestimate how much this is potentially a field wipe to your opponent's cards, and definitely it will kill their back row cards. I feel like for sure.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, it does it to the whole field.
Yeah, during this turn, all your opponent's characters get minus 3k power. So it doesn't even matter if they have hexproof. Like they still get the minus 3k power.
Yeah, that's really strong, and you can be like 1, or you can be like 0/6, and all you have to do is deal 1 damage to yourself.
No, you have to be level 1 to play this card. It's a 1/0.
That's what I meant
1/6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1/6.
Yeah, it's like
whatever the level is that it pertains to. I don't know why I thought it was
Yeah, so if you're like 1/6, then you might as well play this card. Like, there's no. It's like, sure, you're taking 1 damage.
Level 6 as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not.
Like,
it's not bad at all.
Sure, you're taking like 1 or 2 damage, but then at the same time, you're putting this negative condition on your opponent where I feel like it's hurting your opponent more than it's hurting you.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you, like, really destroy, like, their whole back row, and then who knows, like, most people don't hoard their level 0s in their hand that are, like, going
exactly.
They already have that stuff, so if you wipe that, that could really cripple them.
This can kill some level 2 assists. Heck, this can even kill some level 3 back row cards. Like the Shiro from Log Horizon can be killed from this card.
Really? What is his attack?
Hold on.
I swear it's more than 3,000.
I know it can't.
I think it's 6,500.
It can't kill like Hanakawa, obviously.
I think.
No, it's exactly 3k power.
Oh, he's 3k. Oh
yeah,
my God.
So he does exactly 2
Wow.
Slayer.
Wow.
Unless they have the global. Yeah, unless they have a global 500. But even like. Okay, the main advantage is you want to kill back rows, but it still hinders your opponent's like front row characters, so they're more easier to reverse as well. So like say like the standard wall is like a 7, like a 8k or whatever, let's just say it's a standard wall is like 8k. Minus 3k makes them into vanilla range of 5k.
Yeah, that's true. You're definitely gonna reverse your opponent when you play that as well.
And like for me, since I'm playing Kantai English, like this hurts my Hatsukazes in the back row because they're each going to be 2,500 if I have 2 Hatsukazes, or my Akashi. Akashi's pretty weak as well. So it hurts Kantai's back row for sure. And then Hatsukaze, Hatsukaze is really good and like I don't know what other way to search Hatsukaze for my deck at least besides Akatsuki or the level 2, but then you're like wasting your search on just trying to get your back row again. So that's why I'm re-emphasizing that Wingslayer is really good.
Yeah, I think that card's, if anything, underrated by people who think it's like terrible just because you have to level yourself up.
Oh, it doesn't kill Mayakashi. Mayakashi's 4K, but still, it it definitely kills Hatsukaze though. And Hatsukaze is like a big contender against Disgaea because, like I said, I feel like Disgaea is going to use gate triggers in their climax. But then again, I'm not sure how their climax placement is going to be.
I mean, the set's really large, and I don't really know much that's in it, so I wouldn't be able to say what the deck builds are like. I'm sure there's probably lots of different stuff.
I'm just assuming since Disgaea was an older set, and like back then they did like 8 gates or something. But then I might be wrong.
8 gates. That would never work now.
I don't know how, speaking from a business point of view, like I don't know how well this set is gonna sell. Like I know I have some friends already that want to get a case or whatever. I know this guy is pretty popular though. Like the series itself is pretty like a lot of people play, not a lot of people, but a good amount of people play Disgaea.
Yeah, that's true.
And overall, I'm happy with this set getting more support because, it'll, especially if you're gonna be a new player like coming into Weiss, at least now you have like a card pool to choose from instead of just being limited to a trial deck for English at least.
Yeah, that's very true for the people who end up or who really like the series.
So with that, we'll move on to Love Live DX2.
AKA every single Love Live set being released at once because Bushiroad's just done as fuck until Sunshine comes out.
So we're getting SIF2 and the movie booster, right? Is there anything else we're getting?
Yeah, and the variety set.
Oh yeah, the variety set.
In there as well. The variety set had like one unique card in it.
So there's 27 SPs, I believe, right?
Yeah, 27. And the new rarity called Muar.
Yeah. They didn't give any number amount for the Muse rare, right? Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Okay, so we only know that's 27.
But we know that there's like an SP guaranteed every box. It's probably gonna be XR. But with 27 SPs, maybe it's just going to be flat-out SP. I think that the XRs will probably be...
the variety?
Yeah, the made ones, which are still really nice looking.
Yeah, that makes sense. So those will count as the 27? Or are they separate from... Because you know how the rarities work differently? Like how XRs and SPs are 2 different rarities?
Well, it's part of the 27 SPs,
oh, I see,
sure.
So
there's not like secretly more than 27 now.
So I think, hopefully, logically speaking, I think it's safe. I'm gonna assume that we get the variety as XRs, and then the other SPs are gonna be the obviously SIF2 SPs, and then the climax SPs. That's what I'm assuming what it's gonna turn out to be.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the value is gonna go down really far on the the SPs in that set. Like, it would be kind of nice to actually be able to get the Ellie runner SP for like less than 2. I mean, that'd be pretty good.
I feel like it's gonna go up though, like with how the market is for English.
Yeah, because there's gonna be like 6,000 shitty ones, and there's gonna be like a couple of good ones. I think most of the climaxes will be around the same. I think Maki's is really expensive for some reason, even though they all climax with the same card. Like, hers is just more expensive than the other ones.
Maki's, which one? Hers is the door, or is that the...
It's pants.
Oh yeah, the pants, my bad.
I don't know what the official name for pants is. I always forget. I think it's gate.
Yeah, it's gate. Yeah. I guess it's more expensive because, like, if you're playing the Maki, then obviously you want to run the Maki, like, specifically that Maki climax.
Yeah, I guess. I don't like Maki, but I run the card because it's good, so.
I feel like, the best piece for the SIF2 is going to be expensive still. I think right now the Ellie in JP is like 150.
Yeah.
So if anything, it'd be like 180. I don't think it'd be like too expensive. Like how Manami was on pre-order was like for English it was like 300 something, and then it dropped to like 160 or 170 or whatever.
I just hope that the pricing's not too insane. That's all I want.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be insane for pre-orders. Like the pre-order price.
Yeah, but pre-order prices are always bullshit anyway.
People are always. I feel like now this is good. Love Live is finally getting English is getting what players need, because I know a lot of people love Love Live for English.
Yeah, and the set was like kind of janky up until the movie comes out.
Now
and SIF2 had quite a few good cards, but
yeah, now people can comfortably like play their waifu builds and like have like a really good level 3 finisher for their waifu build. Like, because I feel like SIF2 is like one of the best boosters for Love Live.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
I mean, obviously the base set.
Not every girl has a good finisher, though.
I mean, the base set obviously has like the really good cards, like the.
Oh, no, I think SIF2 is a really good set. Yeah. It's just like the only reason I hesitated was because, like you said, that like it can play their waifu decks and like have like confident like stuff and good card pulls and stuff. But honestly, like some girls really don't have finishers. Like Rin has no definitive finisher.
Yeah.
I don't think Kaneo has a definitive finisher. I mean, she has a good defensive level 3, but she doesn't really have a finisher. Like, some girls have better finishers.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, a higher treatment, like Umi. I'd say, like, Umi has better finishers. Or Katori.
They got pretty good ones.
I
can't off the top of my head know who has the best finishers at the moment.
Or, what's her face? Hong Kong, Kaneka. Got some pretty good finishers.
Nico has pretty good.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Nico.
Because Nico has the
movie.
From the movie one.
Yeah, the
really
movie,
good.
That one's really good.
I guess Nico has a lot of clock shooters.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to play like a Nico, you could run like the clock shooter from the original set and the movie set.
Yeah. But, I mean, it really, like, extends the card pool of Love Live to exactly what people really need for everything. Like, obviously, this is the last Love Live set for both. Like, it compiles all the JP sets, and it's just the final set for Love Live. The original Muse cast. Obviously, we'll get Sunshine when it comes out, but
it's going to be completely
like
different.
The final Muse
yeah, I don't think you'd be able to mix the Sunshine with Muse.
No, it's already confirmed that you can't mix it.
Yeah.
So I probably won't even buy Sunshine. Like, I'm gonna give the anime a chance, but I really don't like the girls' designs. But I mean, that's opinion, and maybe I'm not gonna judge it until I watch it and see what the characters are like.
I'm curious on how the Muse Rare is gonna turn out.
Yeah, I'm also really wondering what it's gonna be. I think it might just be another SP.
Oh, really?
But I don't know.
With how the packaging works, I'm pretty sure they'll include the codes for the app, right? The game. Or is that game like out of service now?
Oh, heck no!
Okay. No. Like, you probably get like an SR or whatever with the promo. Because that's what they did for DX1.
Here, let me see what this says. I'm on the page that gives detail about it. It says 160 different cards. So it's one of the biggest sets that have come out in English to date. 45 parallels, which is like insane. Oh, that's a lot of parallels.
Well, aren't parallels like usually just called like they refer to that as usually like rares or whatever? Or
parallels are just foil.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of foils.
I see.
It's got some PRs and the set itself includes PRs that are from the previous sets that weren't released in English, and then you get 3 PRs a box, which is standard for Love Live, but there's 18 different PR cards in the box that you can get. And UR are signs, yes, or MUR.
I see.
Those are signs.
Um, with that large, which those amount of parallels, like you know how the since essentially the movie booster is an extra booster, you know how are they gonna? Didn't they say also like they're not gonna count like commons or whatever from the movie booster or whatever?
Oh, I have no clue. I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of those parallels are gonna be like just foil versions of
It
like the
says that there will
climax.
be no changes to rarities or abilities on the cards.
Yeah, so we'll still get like the foils of like the climaxes from the movie booster.
Oh my gosh, that is wow. Okay, I'm reading the info. There are gonna be absolutely zero foils from the extra booster in the English set.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So
Take
so
that.
no Maki rare and foil. No, none of that. You can't get Honios. Oh,
Wait, does
yeah.
that mean you can't get the SP then?
No, you can get the SP.
Okay, the climax SP.
That is so lame.
I was gonna say they eliminate the climax SP from the movie booster, then that's really like
No,
killing.
all the SPs are included. That is very strange. Well, no, there are double R's. No, they have the double R's as foil because some extra boosters don't have rares and some of them, or some extra boosters are rare and common only, and some extra boosters are double R.
Oh yeah. Depends.
So actually, the double R's will have foils. So that means Maki will. I mean, I'm assuming that's what that means. So then I guess Maki will have a foil. The Haneo level 3, the Nika level 3.
So
So you can get most of the good cards.
they're maintaining their rarity, right? Like you said. So the Maki was a double R from the movie. Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really hard to get cards out of boxes with this set. Like it's gonna be so difficult. And the Musar is just taking the place of XR pretty much. I'm just giving it a fancy name now, and you're guaranteed at least one XR or SP.
Do you remember how many cards were in the first DX set?
Nowhere near as many as this one.
Okay.
Let me.
Yeah. So not trying to like dictate people on like how they should buy things, but like if you're since you're a Love Live player, like looking from the statistics that English Bushiroad is giving, would you be safe to say like singles is the way to go for this set?
Unless you really want to buy a case, because you probably get a lot of value in a case with this set.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I mean, a case would be probably really fun, but I mean, for single boxes, like you could buy like if you buy like you can't just buy like one or two boxes and expect to get what you're gonna need. Like
you need to buy
really
a lot.
Singles probably. Yeah. I mean, like if you want to buy a crap ton of boxes, oh yeah, it's probably value. You'll get probably like 2 fulls a box, and you'll get a lot of stuff.
I feel
you'll probably get like 6 double R. Like so, I'm sure that you can pull some good value out of the boxes, but. Unless you're really into buying booster boxes, you should probably just get singles because it's going to be a lot easier to get what you need, and there won't be as much stress to it.
I feel like for coming, like if you're a Love Live player, then obviously definitely get like at least 1 or 2 boxes for this because you just have access to like so many cards that you can just put into your Love Live your Love Live deck or decks or whatever. So it's definitely just getting 1 or 2 is already good enough where you're just getting access to all these cards.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like if you're trying to pull like a play set of everything.
Yeah, it's definitely
boxes,
gonna be hard.
Then you're gonna have to buy a lot of boxes. But I mean, there are positives and there are negatives to buying boxes. It's basically the best answer is just do what you feel is comfortable.
For your financial reason. Yeah. Let's see.
Because honestly, most of the cards that are needed for like one of the better builds for Love Live are all from the movie, pretty much. So the cards I think were fairly cheaper in Japan because they were extra booster cards. I think since they're going to be lumped into one big set, it's going to be a little more expensive unless they have like a really clean cut way of distributing the cards in the boxes where they give you like 2 extra booster double R's and this many SIF2. That'd be interesting if that's how they did it, but I don't think it's gonna be like that.
I wonder how they're gonna do the packaging, like what picture they're gonna use for the extra. for the whole boost, the DX2. I think they should use the movie booster.
Well, the poster has DX. The poster has SIF
too?
art on it, so.
I see. Yeah, that makes more sense then.
I mean, they use since DX is what they're calling like the SIF sets in English, because the last one that included mainly the SIF cards was included like a really small extra booster as well, and they used the original SIF artwork for that. So it's gonna be the mobile game. The mobile game art's more appealing anyway. So.
I think. Yeah, I think this is more. I feel like with Love Live, like if you're a store owner, like I feel like this will be definitely a safe. This will definitely for sure be like a safe, like, thing to invest for your store, because I feel like there's always gonna be at least one Love Live player in every.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
And like even people in general, like they just like love. I mean, some people like they don't. I mean, they'll just buy it too because it's just Love Live. Like,
yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of collectors as well. I mean, this set's probably gonna be very collector driven, since you can get SPs quite easily out of it. Honestly,
that's why I at least like Love Live at least, because like I feel like sure you might get an XR that's like not that's not like expensive or like the good money SR or whatever, but like every time when I've opened a DX box, I feel good already knowing that I'm for sure getting some type of sign. It's always a nice feeling.
To be fair, the made if the XRs are the made SPs, which they have to be that. They're all the same card, so they'll probably all be around the same value. But those cards, I think, were about like $25 to $30 a piece, fluctuating by girl, obviously, because they are all the same card. But those cards are actually worth a decent amount of money. I don't know if that's just because they came out of the variety set, but I mean, you might be looking at maybe 15 maybe in English if they decide to bring it down. But if it retains its value, you're at least getting like a $30 SP in your box. The card's not really good, I
wonder how they're gonna keep the if they're gonna actually include the variety sleeves, because I know in the JP packaging they gave you this sleeves with all the Muse characters and maid outfits. So I don't know if they're gonna incorporate that into the English release. They should though.
If they do a trial deck, maybe, but I haven't heard anything about.
Yeah, there hasn't been any trial deck.
Love Live DX1 did not have a trial deck in English, and we got the School Idol Festival 2 trial deck already when Love Live Volume 2 came out, which is really weird. I don't know why they did that, but I'm thinking there's not going to be a trial deck, but maybe there will be. I don't know.
I doubt it, honestly.
Yeah, I do as well.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's always a nice feeling just to open a pack and see some type of sign. Like even if it's not money, it's not a lot of money, it's still something nice to have in your collection, I guess, or just keep in your binder.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice. I like the made SPs a lot. I really didn't like the No Brand Girls art because it was kind of old, and so it looked a little janky. But
I've noticed with XRs, the lighting is generally darker. When I take pictures of the XRs compared to the SPs, for Miku XRs or whatever as well, the XRs are generally darker, the background itself.
Yeah, I'm hoping since it's a Muse rare instead of an XR or something, they'll actually keep the texture on it, because I think those SPs were textured. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. But either way, it's nice to just see all 27 of the SPs make it over to English. That's really good.
Since you have some Love Live SPs, do they have different textures for each set so far that's released in English? Or are they all there's no textures, or it's all the same or whatever?
No, all the sets have different textures.
Okay.
Yeah, the XRs have no texture though. They're just
I see.
They're just SR foil.
I see. But yeah, you brought up a good point with how the variety SPs, or XRs, are some pretty good money, because like you said, buying the XR, getting the XR is pretty much worth more than half of the variety set, right? How much? I forgot how much the variety sets were.
Here, I'm gonna the variety sets I think were $35 or $40. and they came with like a pre-made trial deck that was all foil, like completely foil.
Mm.
And it got the sleeves in the deck box with it as well as well as one guaranteed SP.
That's something I wish they would do for English at least. Is they should at least cater more towards like English players. Like at least give us the same treatment as you're doing in JP. I'm pretty sure English Bushiroad and JP Bushiroad are two different companies. I'm pretty sure they still like talk to each other and like have some type of involvement. Like they're not just strictly like English JP don't talk to each other.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the variety set on Yute right now, like SPs,
Mm-hmm.
and the most expensive ones are 2,980 yen, and the like lowest bracket ones are 2,480 yen. And this is by girl popularity. I'm like 100% sure.
Yes, so definitely the lowest one, assuming would be $20, and the highest would be like 30, I guess.
Yeah, I mean yen is pretty close to the dollar right now, so very little would be taken off of that. I'd say that like the high dollar ones would be like 27, and then the mid dollar ones would be like 25.
I'm assuming that these are going to be the minis are going to be XR. I feel like this is good if you're going to buy a box, because compared to like DX1, where like a lot of the XRs weren't worth as much, like from what I've noticed, when last time I looked at XRs from DX1, when I like opened the box, like a lot of them were like $5 or like $10, and only like Nozomi XR was really the more.
That was because every single card was a different card, and it was actually based on card effect. Like those cards were actual SPs in the extra booster that they were from.
Oh, I see.
And these were just like something given in a trial deck, so I think they'll retain their value because they are just all the same.
Same card, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you look at the XRs and Love Live DX1, like some of them are 15, some of them are 12. I mean, Nozomi went down to 15, so she's not like expensive anymore.
Oh, I see. For English, the Nozomi?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about the prices in JP. I can check though, so I can see if those fluctuated a bunch.
I wonder if, because usually from what I notice, at least for English SPs for a Love Live, Umi is usually the most expensive SP.
Yeah.
For English, at least, like her Searcher from the first set, and then the one from DX, the SP, the 1/1, I think. That's expensive as well.
Yeah. Oh, they were just XRs, I guess, in the original Squaddle Festival set. Well, they're dirt cheap. They're a lot more expensive in English. These XRs.
Oh, okay.
So the chances of the made SPs being more expensive is likely, I guess. That or really close to the original value.
If anything, I feel like I'd just be a couple more bucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this is what we needed again. In terms of like competitive, where this stands, I feel like this Love Live is gonna be something like more like you already see it a lot in English, the competitive scene. Like you'll see it in regionals already. People are topping with Love Live, but this will definitely make it so you'll see Love Live for sure more often and stuff. Because I feel like Love Live, like it when I play against it with Kantai, like it doesn't really care what Kantai is doing, because like it's more focused on itself, where like it'll gain value regardless. I feel like it's one of those. I don't know. That's just from my observation.
Are you talking about the complete like JP build, or?
Yeah, just like from what I've seen from JP, I feel like a lot of from an English mindset. Like if I'm an English Love Live player, I would follow the JP, how the JP list is right now, because we pretty much are getting all the cards for.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to follow the JP quote meta list, quote meta deck list, quote So like the 1/0 Maki, whatever.
Oh yeah, that stuff has.
The Ellie beater. Wait, do you even you don't run the Ellie beater in your deck, do you? The Ellie clone?
No.
Not Ellie clone. The actual Ellie. Oh. Would you run it though? Because I feel like it's still a solid card.
I just don't think there's room for it.
I see. And you don't have that much yellow, right? Anyways, in your deck. You don't have any yellows, right?
No, there's absolutely zero yellow.
I see.
It's just like, since Akatsuki is like blue based, it's like you don't want to run too many cards that are off blue.
And obviously, you're gonna see more of the competitive build for Love Live, I guess, in the English format. But I like how this set in general is just like I said, it's gonna release so many different types of builds for people to experiment. Because I know people.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of players that don't want to follow like the competitive meta build. Like they want to build their waifu build, or they want to build like their third year builds or whatever their first year builds.
Like I have an English third year build. Also, the reason that you wouldn't really need the Ellie clone and the meta build is because you have the 1-0 Maki that is basically the exact same thing, but it has 500 less power and it has Clock Encore.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I like how it brings at least variety, variety to different Love Live builds. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one thing I appreciate about Love Live is that for the players at least, like they're not limited to just like the meta build or whatever. They can build like their waifu or whatever, like I was saying, or like even change builds. Like people will build decks just based on changes.
Yeah, because Love Live has a crap ton of change.
Yeah, and they have like support like the alpaca or whatever to make it like better for them to change. But
yeah, overall the set's strong. I don't know how it's gonna affect the meta once the like Love Live meta build is playable in English, but
I feel like it's definitely gonna affect the English competitive scene.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Just cause the 1-0 Maki, that card is just really good. Well, of course you have to reverse, but like besides that card alone, like the only other card I can think of in English is the Manami.
Yeah.
And Manami's pretty good as usual. But yeah. Oh yeah, and the early drop, the Hanayo. I like the early drop Hanayo. That one's really good.
So strong.
You have 4K.
And it should be gettable in foil if they make double R's gettable, because the card looks so much nicer in foil.
So I guess we'll move on to our most latest set that's been announced is Nisekoi Extra Booster. And this is something that's been long awaited. Like Nisekoi players, there's a lot of Nisekoi players in English. Like despite how it's much different compared to JP, I know some people are gonna play English still. A lot of people like Nisekoi. I think that's safe to say. I mean, as I'm saying, a lot of people like Nisekoi, or like they'd pick up Weiss.
Yeah. And that's how you can kind of build waifu builds in as well.
Yeah. With the extra booster, it didn't really give that much support for like the blue red yellow build, the English blue red yellow build. But it did. What it did emphasize though was more on the Sugami weapon / daughter deck and the sweets deck. That's the biggest highlight of the whole set in general is the sweets deck. But then at the same time, like the sweets, like from what I've heard, the sweets deck is like okay at best. Like there's not really a good finisher in the sweets deck. It's essentially the anti-pendant deck, some people say, but I don't think sweets is gonna be really that good.
You just think it'll just kind of like be there.
Yeah, I'll just be there, just cause like, and I'm looking at it in terms of like just entering into like a tournament or whatever. Like when you face like so many other, I'm saying this from like an English only standpoint, but like I feel like the anti-pendant mechanic isn't going to be a big deal when you're playing up against other decks like under other anime sets. Um,
Yeah.
if you don't know what I'm referring to,
No, I know
okay,
they have the card that gets like
ridiculous
power
yeah.
when you get when they have
It's
pendants.
yeah, global 500 to sweets, and then like another global 500 for each pendant in their memory in your opponent's memory.
Yeah, it's funny when it's up against like
The meta JP Nisekoi, but we're talking from English standpoint. They get okay. I'll talk about some noticeable cards from this set when I'm talking about the sweets build. There's a 3/2 Haru sweets trait 10k. When it's placed on stage from hand, you place the top 3 cards of your deck into waiting room. If there's one or more sweet characters among those cards, during that turn, it gets 3k power. If there's 2 or more sweet characters, you heal one. And if it's all 3 sweet characters, it gets a clock kick ability. So it's pretty much like the it's not pretty much, but it's similar to the Yosuke from Persona 4, the level 3 Yosuke. And there there are cards I think that help you scry or whatever, or help you get a better check with the Haru. But it's it's like still. At most, I
yeah.
feel like you're gonna heal. You're gonna get a heal, and it becomes 13k. But if you can clock kick, then that's good. But I just don't like how it's so conditional, where you have to like rely on revealing those 3 cards. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm just being very unfair.
I don't know. I've played against the deck and it's alright.
Mm.
I wouldn't really like say it's. I mean, it's definitely not JP Nisekoi like meta or anything.
And they get a 3/2 Kosaki that pretty much can come out at level 2, and it's like it's a wall where it gives someone 4k at the start of your opponent's turn.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then with the climax, you search for one sweet character, add it to your hand, and then until that on your opponent's turn, it gets 2500 power. So it's alright, but it doesn't, like I said, there's no like, I guess, good finishers for this set. I mean, for the sweets build, I mean.
Yeah, it just kind of like works, I guess, its way through.
And the other level 3 is just a Chitoge. If you have 4 or more if you have 4 or more daughter or weapon trait characters, it gets -1 level. So it's pretty easy if you're going to play the Tsugumi, the green-yellow deck. And then for each of your other daughter or weapon trait, it gets 500 power. So it's essentially going to be 11k. And then when it's being front attack, you look at the top card of your deck and you place it on top of the deck or into a waiting room. So it's kind of good. I like how it kind of can help you mitigate damage.
Yeah.
But in general, the whole set is kind of lackluster.
Yeah, it's no Sword Art Extra Booster, obviously.
Yeah. I think we can agree for us, for at least Jenna and I, is that like Nisekoi finally got something, so they can be happy and they can be up to date with JP. Even though it's different though, like the Nisekoi meta JP is different than English Nisekoi, obviously. I don't know what the builds are going to be now for English, but I'm going to assume that most cards are going to be relatively, like most builds are going to be relatively the same except for a couple cards for the current Nisekoi English list though. That's just my opinion. I'm not sure, since Nisekoi is unrestricted in English, but the level 3s are different obviously.
Yeah, so it's like restricted but not restricted.
I don't know if this. I don't know. I honestly don't know if Nisekoi is gonna. Nisekoi still does top in some English tournaments, like in some English regionals, but I don't know if this is going to be a good push to make it like something to like watch out for compared to like SAO 2 obviously,
Yeah.
or like Love Live DX2. Like those are good boosters for English. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to downgrade Nisekoi. Like it's something that we should have gotten a long time ago, I feel like. But I don't know. It's just how English is moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna have as much of an impact as the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but we might be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's
maybe,
too early to
maybe it'll be, like, super good when it comes out. I have no clue.
And I guess we'll go on to the next discussion. Is usually English Brushi Road. I forgot if JP does it, but like when we get an extra booster, in 1 month we usually get another extra booster in the same month. It's just something that they've been doing. So there's some speculation so far on what if we're gonna get another extra booster in the same month as Nisekoi in August, but I'm pretty sure we will. But there's speculation on what it might be, and I personally think it's gonna be Persona Persona Q, despite the licensing whatever, because there's some talks about like licensing issues, but I don't know what other extra boosters there would be for August that would come out.
I don't really know which extra boosters have been out. Let me look.
I mean, it could introduce a new set as an extra booster, like so they could do a month. That month would be support for Nisekoi and a new booster.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Katana Gatari. Okay. Yeah, I honestly thought that they were gonna do Love Live split up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really thinking that the extra boost would be released on its own at some point, but since they put it all together, I don't know. Maybe, what if we got Kantai, Bizzle?
Oh yeah, that's actually good. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I feel like we have a good chance to get that because Kantai is played a lot over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's my guess. But I'm literally just like glanced at list. Okay, that's my guess.
Yeah. That makes sense. That or Persona Q. If they're gonna continue with the existing support scheme that they've been doing. Yeah, I don't know what other extra booster they would release that would make sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the guess besides that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they also did something crazy, like maybe they released like the first Elia Collide booster or whatever, because it did start. Yes, I'm pretty sure it did start out as an extra booster. First, like get that as a first. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I think more Persona Q or Abyssals have a better chance, but who knows?
Yeah.
Or actually, I was gonna say I don't know about Milky Homes, but like they released the demo deck or whatever, but Milky Home hasn't gotten any English support since then, so it's kind of weird.
That's so weird.
Yeah, they put Milky Homes in an awkward position where it's like it just has the demo deck, like there's no other support for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they will have to, because it's just gonna be weird if they just left it like that.
Yeah, perhaps at some point. I just don't know how popular Milky Homes is in the US.
Oh yeah, that's a good point as well.
Like I'd like to see it.
They could release Sengoku Basara.
You wish. That's about as likely as Katana Gatari.
Yeah. Or the dream is maybe they release Fate Hollow Ataraxia. But I doubt it as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh yeah. Oh, I guess we'll just go on to the discussion of how this year has been for English, Weiss so far. Um, let's look at the sets that have been released so far. So January we got what? Haruhi, right?
Trash.
I forgot. Was it Haruhi? It's been a long time.
Trash, right?
Hmm. Do you remember, Jenna?
It was trash.
February
February of
was
this year?
Fate.
What was January this year?
January was Haruhi, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, trash.
February was what? Fate?
Oh, no, Fate was in April.
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh, no. Well, Fate Unlimited Blade Works Volume 1 came out last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... What the hell was it then? February.
I feel so dumb not knowing.
Yeah, what the heck? Oh my god. I'm gonna look at... Was it like something really old? Here's a really easy fix here. Let me just...
Okay.
Was it Cinderella Girls? Was that February or was that March?
I thought it was March.
Gosh, oh my god.
Or maybe it was February. I'm not sure. Oh, I'll look at the products. Oh yeah,
I'm looking
yeah, I found it. Nisei Monogatari.
Oh, yeah. That was February.
Yeah, so
Then
far.
Cinderella Girls was March.
Yeah, then we have Unlimited Blade Works 2, and SAO 2 in
And the
Disgaea.
Harvey Extra Booster.
Yeah, and the Haruhi Extra Booster.
Trash Booster.
So looking at all these cards, like, I mean, looking at all these, besides CG, like all these sets have been support for what's been out so far.
Yeah, and it doesn't really do that much. Honestly.
I mean, you can say the Disgaea is like new, so it's not support, but it is support because we already have the trial deck. So besides CG, all of this has been support. So it's really weird how this year for Bushiroad, it's been more in support. I mean, that's kind of good though, because that's what we kind of needed. A lot of people needed.
Yeah. Does CG even top in competitive play now in English?
I haven't actually seen.
Really.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen any, regional list. Because I feel like it's been more still like Attack on Titan,
yeah.
KC.
Like, nothing has really been a huge impact on the meta. The only thing I could, like, speculate would be, like, maybe we'll get Monogatari second series soon since they pushed out Nisei Monogatari, and that will really affect, I think.
But, it would be obviously the full booster.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be, like, soon, but... I mean, I speculate they might release that by the end of the year, or, like, early next year.
Of course, like, English Bushiroad, like, we can't determine exactly what they're gonna do. And, like, we can't always say that, like, oh, they can do whatever they want. But it feels like, with how things have been so far Bushiroad in general, like, anything... It's kind of a stretch saying, like, anything is possible. But it really does feel like anything is possible with at least English Bushiroad. Because, like, how soon we got Unlimited Blade Works 2. Like how
we
JP
really did get that.
That was pretty quick. And I'm surprised how we got CG pretty soon for English. Like I thought we would get other sets.
Yeah, like they're really going crazy. They're like, here, have some really new sets, and they're like, here, have this set from frickin' 10,000 years ago. Let me dig up this fossil for you. Frickin', you like girls with eyes frickin' 50 feet apart? Here you go. Have Haruhi Extra Booster and Original Booster on sale this year. Enjoy that. It's like, oh, thanks, Bishop. Let me just put this in the trash where it belongs. Okay. But besides that, like, they just get some really new stuff, and they also get really old stuff, like Disgaea. It's like, what the heck? No one would have expected that to come out.
Yeah. I mean, it was bound to come eventually, but, like, not, I guess, it wasn't, like, people were more concerned on other things, I guess, you know. Like, I guess, with sets.
Yeah.
Um, but it looks like so far, like, a lot of these... It looks like the theme for this year is, like, support.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, for... I like where they're going with this. It's just, like... Are we gonna give support for every set now? Like, the current sets? Because, like, what about Persona? That's why I really want Persona Q to come out, for at least for English. Because, like, English Persona is already jank. So at least give us Q.
I just feel like there's no point in releasing Persona 4. It's, like, so old, and Persona 5 is going to come out. And Persona 5 will probably have a set, so it's like, why not just wait for Persona 5? Because, like, there's no point. Like, Persona 4 at its full, like, Japanese, like, card pool is not even that good. Like, that's the sad thing. But...
Yeah, you're right.
But, like obviously Haruhi at its full, like, fucking state isn't good, and we got that, so, I mean...
Oh, yeah, well, because, yeah, we didn't get the band card.
Even with that card, it's still not good enough, in my opinion.
Okay, what sets do you feel like you want to be released in English that are, like, quote, new? Like, that don't have current support in English? Like, they'll be completely new, entering the English.
Like a completely new IP, like, that hasn't been in English yet?
Yeah, for JP, like, what's going to transition from JP to English?
I know a lot of people are going to be like, To Love-Ru, like, that's what they're going to want.
I feel like To Love-Ru would be good, in the sense that, like,
I feel like it wouldn't be good for the meta.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
Do the same shit constantly.
Yeah.
Puyo, I'd like to see because I like Puyo, but I mean, like, that's not popular in English.
And a lot of people say, like, To Love-Ru would never come here because of, like, how it is and, like, just in general, like, how the nature of the anime is or whatever. But I think that's kind of baloney.
Yeah, I do too. You think I think maybe Charlotte has a decent chance of coming
Charlotte.
over?
Yeah, it's a key product.
Yeah. I mean, we have Angel Beats and we have is Angel Beats the only one we have in English?
From what I've noticed for Charlotte, at least, like, a lot of people like Angel Beats, or, like, they like Clannad or whatever. But, like, for Charlotte, I feel like a lot of people will say it's mixed reviews. Like, they either really like it or, like, they think it's, like, one of the like, it's a boring anime. But I don't know. I would like Charlotte to come out for English just because it'd be a really good... I feel like it'd be so good for the English competitive scene just because, like, how they have the anti-burn. That really offset a lot of, like, SAOs, Last Shot,
yeah.
the Musashi and Kantai, the Burn and Fate, I guess. Just... It would be a good contender. And right now in JP, like, Charlotte it's there, but it's not, like, making itself, like, a really noticeable contender. So that's why I at least like Charlotte to come to English. So
yeah, I feel like it
would
would have a completely different impact in English than in JP.
Mm-hmm. And the set itself is not, like, power creep or anything. It's, like, I think it's one of the more balanced sets in Weiss.
Yeah, I always really still think it's not that good, but I'm just dumb, so. But I'd also like to see Milky Holmes come out in English, but like I said, I don't really think it's that popular.
If Milky Holmes came out, like, I feel like English receiver would have to do some type of DX thing, like, with Love Live, because there's so many sets for Milky Holmes. I don't know.
That's how I feel when people say they want Low Busters in English, too. I'm like, that's way too many sets. They're gonna ruin it somehow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, besides that, like, everything else is, like, getting to the point where it's, like, it'd be way too old, or, like, it's just not licensable in English.
I guess another set that some people really want is Symphogear. That's been talked about.
Yeah, that has quite a few sets.
I don't know how good it'd be, though. Like, in terms... I mean, since English card pool is different, it might be more noticeable, but at the same time, I feel like things like Charlotte... I don't know. I just, like...
I also feel like Fate Collide would be also pretty... I mean, it's not too old of a show, and it's technically a different IP than Fate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same umbrella, but it's a completely different show, and it's not mixable. So I feel like that could have some possibilities of coming over, just because Fate is so popular over here.
And I actually would want Terraformers to come out as well for English.
I don't know anything about that show, so.
I know some people like Terraformers, and I feel like that'd be a good set too. It'll be different from like the typical like kawaii anime or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
What's another? But you are right with how like we can release these new like sets. Like of course it'll be good for like attracting new people into the game or whatever, or like if they want to build a different set. But then like in relevancy, like how relevant would it be for in terms of competitiveness? But at the same time, at the token, I feel like for the English scene is more like casual, I guess. Not casual, but like it's not as like um very competitive as JP.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's more thought process, I guess, when it comes to JP when you're playing with JP compared to English.
Yeah.
So I'd say, well, if I'm gonna say on that note, I'd say like even if we get older sets like Psychopaths, like that set is not that great in terms of like how the effects are. I feel like a lot of people would like that.
Yeah.
It just I it's really hard to say what Bushiroad is gonna release because I really don't know what their like agenda is.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really seem to have a pattern. They just kind of put out.
I mean, we can predict, but then at the same time, they'll surprise us with like something that's like completely unexpected, like with what they're gonna release. Like,
Yeah.
for all we know, like, and we have to. I forgot to mention, like, we have to also think that English Weiss is not just exclusive to like, uh, United States. Like, obviously, it's popular in Europe. That counts, and also Singapore. Singapore is a huge market, and it's been a huge influence for English Weiss.
Yeah, I mean, the Bushiroad English freaking store didn't even ship anymore but Singapore until, like, recently.
Mm-hmm. And like a lot there, I've read that the reason why Kantai came out to English in the first place was because there was a huge demand for Singaporeans apparently. But I'm not sure if that's entirely true, but that's what I've been told.
I see.
Clannad would be interesting.
But it's so old. They'd probably have to release it with its power-up set included if they did that in English.
Or Crayon Shinchan.
Shinchan.
Yeah. See,
yeah, I wish.
I want Shinchan to come out because like I feel like it's pretty popular enough for English because like it had so many dubs.
Yeah, and I mean like Shinchan's kind of like one of those more like things where it's like a classic thing. So it's like a lot of people know Shinchan, like they know of Shinchan. So I feel like it's something that wouldn't die out. Like a lot of people know about Haruhi, so it's like okay, yeah, they put Haruhi out because a lot of people like Haruhi, and yeah, it's an old set and it's not that good. But people know the anime, so that's why they release it.
Or actually,
I
can't play. I forgot this, but Railgun would be a good addition to English as well.
Index.
Yeah,
Railgun?
Index / Raildex, whatever. The whole series in general, the whole set stuff in general.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I guess that's the way English is going. Like, I'm as a Weiss player, like, obviously, English news is not going to be as like, surprising or as like as more important to me compared to JP.
Yeah, I just can't get interested in English anymore. Like because it's like when you start playing JP, it's like everything's new. Like nothing is ever like since that's the source. It's like you don't just like get some rehash of a set that came out in JP. Like it's new.
That's
like,
why.
Like everything that gets announced, it's like an exciting thing because it's like, oh, this is a new anime that's actually coming into this game.
That's why English Bushiroad, I think should at least go back to like how they did with Attack on Titan. Like first, at least release it to us first, like the whatever, like this English set. Because I thought they said they were gonna release more like English first sets or whatever.
I don't know, but I mean, it's. I would love to see that because it's just it gives the English players something exciting. Like, yeah, not every single person who plays Weiss plays the JP version as well, and they don't know what the cards are that are in JP and blah blah. So that when they see new stuff, they get excited. But like for people who are so into the game, like who play both English and JP or like exclusively JP, it's just not exciting. Because it's just you know what's in the set. Like you can just look up the whole entire set, and there it is. You don't need to like wait for spoilers.
And also, I've I want I personally want English Bushiroad. I think we already talked like we mentioned this in our past videos, but I feel like there needs to be like with it's nice how they have like a Meister set and stuff. But I feel like we still should get some type of like power up set, like how they power up stuff, like how JP does for at least like the current English pool. I don't know if that's too much.
I don't think there's anything in the current English pool that has power up set.
I mean, like our own like.
Oh, that'll never happen. It's a nice thing to think about, but.
Like let's bypass like the whole licensing thing and like.
English freaking Bushiroad making a set again? That ain't gonna happen. You see what happened with Attack on Titan? Heck no. No, I don't know. But if anything, I think it'd be more likely for a full booster to come out than just some random power up stuff that's only available in English.
It's just like I'm curious to know how English will continue with like the releases later this year, because I wish they would stop teasing like how we can already tell like how JP they already have like a whole list of like months ahead of what's gonna be released, but JP but for English it's like slow, like we have to wait a couple months or whatever just to like know what the next one set's gonna be.
I feel like more recently they've kicked it up and we have gotten like a release every month, like we've heard of it. But like on the up, like it's definitely not as frequent as JP, obviously, and it's mostly just like seeing what's gonna get localized. I mean, it's not like super exciting like when you wake up in the morning and you see Osamatsu on the freaking thing and you're like, oh god, and people think it's fake, but it's not. It's not fake, and then 3 months later, here it is, it's about to come out. But like, not 3. Like 2 months.
I think.
But.
Oh, sorry. What were you gonna finish off?
Literally nothing. I was not saying anything. You can go on.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, if I was like the person in charge of English Bushiroad distribution, like what's gonna be released for November or December, this is what I'm gonna do. November should be Monogatari series second season, and then December should be Idolmaster Cinderella Girl second season. I feel like.
So you just think going like all sequel route will like work it out this month for this year, and then like next year they can focus on bringing over new titles that come in through JP?
I just feel like with how English is right now, like it's at the point where like okay, these sets, like these current existing sets, like SAO, like they have everything they need. Love Live, they have everything they need. So it's like we might as well give Cinderella Girls or whatever, or Monogatari series second season, just so like just we might as well release the support so like they'll like they'll have like the card pool or whatever to contend with these other sets that finally are caught up with JP.
Yeah, I agree with that because especially with Monogatari in its current state in English, it's like literally if Monogatari second series comes out, it's basically its own thing. Like,
Monogatari is arguably I feel like one of the best sets released ever in Weiss. Not one of the best sets, but I'm just saying like it's something.
It's one of the best sets. It's very strong.
It's a set that Bushiroad has paid attention to the fan base at least. Like they realize. I feel like it's one of the smartest sets that Bushiroad has created because like they given like a lot of good things that Monogatari needed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I feel like when it comes to English, I'm pretty sure it's gonna come to English. It's gonna be a huge money set. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. And like it's it just feels good as like someone who basically was told like, oh, they're not going to do more Monogatari sets, and then seeing that come out in JP, like, and just seeing it come back, like, I was so happy. And I'm sure a lot of people who really like the series and play it in the game were extremely pleased with it because it's just so powerful. Like, it compared. I mean, yeah, the Nisei Monogatari and Bake sets came out a long time ago, so obviously the quality in cards is like a huge mile apart, but it's nice to see the set with all the stuff it really needed, and I hope that more sets get the chance to have that same exact type of card pool happen to them, where they get a huge power up all in one booster.
Yeah, design wise, like I said, Monogatari series second season is one of the like better sets because like you get like all these good utility or and like card effects that they should have gotten, and also like there's like even with the flavor like you can there's flavor with the Mayor
Yeah, there's a lot of my flavor in that set, and like none of the double R's are really bad in that set either.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is like a lot of value in that set, and the cards are just the card quality itself is just really good. Like normally you have like your one good for the color double R, and then you have like your kind of not so good color for the double R like thing, and it's like all the cards are pretty good in that set. Like even the 3/2 Nanako Sengoku has its uses. Like it's still a pretty good card. It's like a Ronko type card, but it's like none of those double R's that I can think of off the top of my head are bad at all.
Mm-hmm. And like I think, like I said with CG2, I feel like CG is like one of like the money sets for English Weiss. I mean, yeah, when it was released, like a lot of people were like on that, because I think like we were all hyped up with the whole like, oh, they kept the colored SPs, which I like. That's one thing I like about, and they kept that for the SAO2 Volume 2. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems like we're gonna be keeping colored signs from now on.
Yeah, hopefully. It's CG2 had a lot of money cards.
Yeah.
So I it'd be ridiculous to see how much the price is, because there is a double R plus run in JP that goes for like 30-ish $35. So I'm scared to know how much the like English card would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I have to say about for English Weiss.
Yeah, me too. For now, until we hear like what the next set's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And since we just got an announcement, it's probably not gonna be for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. I wouldn't say it's a very exciting announcement, but it was like a very due announcement. Like people really knew it was gonna happen.
It's like I'm not surprised. It's just like okay, I like.
It's boring.
Yeah, I mean it's like, okay, at least we got that over with.
I'd rather see that though than like Haruhi English Edition number 3 with new cards.
Yeah. I feel like with Nisekoi Extra Booster, at least it's pleasing like a good amount of people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm as much as I rag on Haruhi, it's like I'm glad to see people who like certain shows get what they like want, and it's like I'm not gonna be the type of person who's like, oh my gosh, another Sword Art set, but then turn around and be like, oh yay, a 5th level I've set, I'm so happy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna like that, but I'm just happy that people like the main point of this game is to have fun playing the anime you like, and I like to see that stuff get announced for people who like it. So. Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Waifu Wars.